Stomata are small openings in the epidermis of the aerial parts of the plants, and the stomata are more abundant on the leaves. The stomata are absent in the roots of the plants. A stomata consists of an opening or a pore. This opening or a pore is surrounded by two specialized kidney shaped epidermal cells called as the God cells. These God cells have an unevenly thickened walls. The walls facing the pore are thick, while the walls away from the pore, that is the outer wall, are thin. And these outer walls are not only thin, they are extensible, means they can expand. In grasses, the shape of the stomata are dumbbell shape, that is, they have a narrow middle part and have enlarged or bulbous ends. The narrow middle part is having a thick wall, whereas the bulbous ends have the thinner walls. Due to the unevenly thick walls, the God cells are helpful in the opening and closing of the stomata. Unlike the other epidermal cells, the God cells of stomata contain chloroplast. This chloroplast of the God cells have an unorganized lamellae. Due to presence of this chloroplast, the carbon assimilation takes place in the God cells or photosynthesis occurs. Due to the photosynthesis, the carbohydrates are formed. Due to synthesis of these carbohydrates, the turgor pressure of the God cell increases, which results in the opening of the stomata. When the turgor pressure decreases, the stomata are closed. The God cells are surrounded by variable numbers of epidermal cells, which are called as the subsidiary cells or the accessory cells. These cells may be morphologically similar to other epidermal cells or may be very different from the epidermal cells. The two God cells, the opening or the aperture, the subsidiary cells constitute what is known as a stomatal apparatus. A cavity is usually present beneath the stomata. As you can see in the picture, the stomata, below the stomata, there is a cavity. This cavity is called as the substomatal cavity. This substomatal cavity communicates with the intercellular spaces of the mesophyll. On the basis of stomatal distribution, the leaves are categorized into the following three types. The first type of leaves are the amphistomatic, the second are the hypostomatic, and third are the epistomatic. In amphistomatic, the stomata are present on both the surfaces of the leaf. That is, the stomata are present on the upper epidermis as well as the lower epidermis of the leaves. This condition is found in most of the herbaceous plant. Whereas in hypostomatic, the stomata are confined to the lower surface of the leaf. That is, the stomata are present only on the lower epidermis of the leaf. This condition we find in the most of the tree species. In epistomatic, the stomata are confined to the upper surface of the leaf. That is, the stomata are present on the upper epidermis of the leaf. So this condition we find mostly in the hydrophytes like the nymphia. The stomata may occupy three different positions in relation to the epidermal cells. In many, the stomata are present on the same level as the adjoining epidermal cells. As you can see here, the stomata and the epidermal cells are at the same level. This condition is present in most of the mesophytic plants. Whereas in xerophytic plants like Hakea, the stomata are present little deep inside the epidermal layer. Such type of stomata are called as the sunken stomata. So sunken stomata is a characteristic feature of most of the xerophytic plants. In some plants like Cucurbita and Solanum, the stomata are slightly raised above the surface of the leaves. The first classification of stomata was given by Wesk in 1889. Wesk assumed that the development of stomatal apparatus correlates to the families in which they are present, and thus they can be easily defined the ontogeny by studying the structure of the mature stomatal type. So based on this, Wesk identified four types of stomata and named the stomata after the families in which they were first observed. So the four types of stomata that Wesk identified are: first are the ranunculus type, second the cruciferous type, the third the rubeous type, and fourth labiatus or caryophyllus type. Later, Metcalfe and Chalk proposed the following type of stomata. The first is the anamocytic type of stomata. In this, the stomata are surrounded by a limited number of epidermal cells, and these epidermal cells limited or the subsidiary cells are not different from the epidermal cells. So here in the anamocytic type of stomata, the subsidiary cells are undistinguishable from the other epidermal cells. So this type of stomata are present in family Ranunculaceae, Papaver, Caparidaceae and Nyctaginaceae. The second type is the anisocytic type of stomata. In this anisocytic type of stomata, the stoma or the aperture is surrounded by three subsidiary cells, out of which the one is very small compared to the other two. So here you can see the God cells are surrounded by three subsidiary cells, and one of the subsidiary cell is smaller than the other two subsidiary cells. So this type of stomata is found in family Cruciferaceae, Umbelliferae and Solanaceae. The next type of stomata are the parasitic. In this type, the stomata, as the name indicate, are surrounded by two subsidiary cells which are parallel to the long axis of the pora in the God cells. So the subsidiary cells are parallel to the long axis of the stomata. So hence they are named as parasitic, and they are present in the family Magnoliaceae and Rubiaceae. The fourth type are the diacytic stomata. In this type, the stomata is surrounded by a pair of subsidiary cells whose common wall are diagonal or at right angles to the long axis of the God cells. So here the common walls of the subsidiary cells are at right angles to the long axis of the God cells. So this type of stomata is found in Caryophyllaceae, Labiatae and Acanthaceae. In addition to these four types, Stace in 1965 recognized other two types of stomata. The fifth one is the actinocytic type of stomata, which has four or more subsidiary cells which are elongated radially to the stomata. So here we have 4 or more than 4 subsidiary cells which are radially elongated to the stomata. Then the sixth type is cyclocytic type, in which there are 4 or more subsidiary cells which are arranged in a close ring around the stoma. According to Stebbins and Kush, stomata with many subsidiary cells are primitive and stomata with few subsidiary cells are the advanced one. Pant in 1965 proposed a classification of stomata based on their ontogeny. He divided the stomata into following 3 types. First are the mesogenous type. Second, in which the God cells and subsidiary cells are derived by consecutive division of the same mother cell. Means the God cell and subsidiary cells, they develop from the same mother cell. The second type of stomata are the perigenous type of stomata, in which God cells and subsidiary cells have an independent origin. That is, the subsidiary cells develop from the cells lying around the mother cell of the God cells. So here the subsidiary cell and God cell, they develop from the different mother cell. Then the third is the perimesogenous type of stomata, in which one of the subsidiary cell has a common origin with the God cell, whereas the other subsidiary cell have an independent origin. So one develops from the mother cell of the God cell, and whereas the other develops from a other or an independent mother cell. So it shows the character of mesogenous as well as perigenous type of the stomata. Hence it is named as the perimesogenous type of stomata. Then in gymnosperm, Florin identified 2 types of stomata based on the development of the stomata. First is the haplochilic type of stomata, in which the subsidiary cells and God cells arise from the different origin, that is, they arise from the different mother cells. Whereas in syndetochilic stomata, the subsidiary cells and God cell have a common origin, that is, they arise from the same mother cell. So haplochilic condition we see in the gymnosperms like cycads, conifers and ginkgo, whereas the syndetochilic type is seen in the advanced gymnosperm, that is Netum and Welwitschia. And coming to the function of stomata, the main function of stomata is to regulate the transpiration in the plant, and also it regulates the gaseous exchange in the plant. Thus, they play an important role in the respiration as well as photosynthesis.